right now we got to talk to this guy, Mike Scarborough from TigerBait.com. Mike, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, Charlie. How are you?
Fantastic. Your early read on the transfer portal and LSU, the guys that have gone out, and what you know about the guys that they are kind of targeting as we head into bowl preps to maybe bring in and be a part of this class.
Well, I think what we're seeing is probably what we expected, or maybe if you're an LSU fan, hope for, that they're pretty darn organized as far as making an impression on the roster to not do anything rash and to sit down and have these exit meetings and before you get in the portal, have a conversation. And I know several of them have been with parents involved and in the room across the desk from Brian Kelly. But so far, what we've seen go in the portal is really what we expected. And I don't know that LSU's numbers are going to look like other schools across the league just because of what the numbers on the roster were. But then we get into guys like Jaquel and Roy, that are kind of in that gray area. What do they end up doing? And so I think we wait to see on them. But I think based on some of the things we picked up this week that I fully expect both Daniels and Garrett Nussmeier to be back. And so that's where all the rumors and stuff have been taking place as far as the quarterback position this week.
I think that there's a real good chance that that's exactly how it's going to go down, Mike. Things change, but right now, man, to keep all your quarterbacks this day is a tough thing to do because there's only so many reps to go around. So I think even the most optimistic LSU person would have said, listen, when you go into spring of 2023, one of these guys is not going to be here. So you got a full quarterback room and one coming in the signing class, which is great. It does provide for a good problem to have, but how you get everybody enough reps to make them happy?
Yeah, and so when Jaden Daniels got in the portal last spring and Brian Kelly and the staff saw him, they called and talked to Jamie Howard and to let him know, look, we're going to go after Jaden Daniels, but this is a one-year proposition. And that was what Jaden Daniels' plans were when he came to LSU, play 1 year and go pro. And now with NIL and possible draft grade and where he thinks he'll get picked, and I think also probably enjoying the time in Baton Rouge and this team, it looks like he's coming back. And so, so then it also makes me wonder if Nussmeier hadn't had the second half that he had, and you can kind of look at that second half in multiple ways, but I think he sees it as a big success. I thought, he was a guy that if Daniels came back would definitely be in the portal, and so that's not the case at all. He's excited and thinks he can win the job in the spring. So that's where the Walker Howard rumor started earlier in the week, and it's not that he wants to leave or is unhappy. It's just a math problem. You can't, after being on the scout team and which is on the other side of the field. And I think maybe there was a couple of practices, where he got to be with the team. Certainly when Daniels is hurt, and I expect that'll be in the coming week or so with bowl practice. But I think that's where the problem is. It's just the math. It's a number of plays that you can get with the twos and any reps that you might get with the ones. And so who do you give those to? And so I don't know that you can't blame a kid for not wanting the same allocation of reps that he had the previous year and it not be any different the following year, particularly a five-star quarterback who's a part of a great class with multiple close friends who in Campbell and Emery and all those who have been starters and are freshman All-Americans.
Yeah, it's going to be it's something – like I said, it's a good problem to have, but it's one that I didn't really anticipate for him. Jaden Daniels, by the way, Mel Kiper updated his rankings for the draft, and for the moment, he's still including Daniels as a guy that is going to be on the board because he considers him at least eligible for the draft at this point. His quarterback rankings go like this: Will Levis, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Jaden Daniels at number 5. So Levis, Young, and Stroud are going to be high first-round picks. Anthony Richardson, you're going to get a wide range of opinions on him, but given what Kiper is saying, and Kiper's not the be-all and get-all, but he's pretty good. He's got Daniels ahead of Hendon Hooker in his draft rankings. Now Hooker's coming off the injury, I get it, but that's pretty heady stuff. He's got him over guys that had excellent college seasons like Bo Nix and Max Duggan. Stetson Bennett, who I don't really think is going to be an NFL quarterback. But point being that the 4 guys in front of Daniels on this quarterback list right now are all going to be high picks. And if you're Daniels and you say, man, look, if I come back for one more year and I have another year like this, how high can I go? My guess is that based on Kiper's rankings today, that Daniels would probably be somewhere in a second-day pick. Probably in the second or third round, but he could come back and he could do a lot better than that.
Man, I'm not trying to say that Jaden Daniels isn't a talent or anything like that. I just feel like if a guy's been playing college football for 4 years and whatever his negatives are, that's pretty much baked in the cake by now, don't you think?
Well, no, I don't.
Don't you think he is what he is right now?
No, I disagree, and I would point to Hendon Hooker as evidence of that. Hooker was nowhere near the quarterback that he became at Tennessee when he was at Virginia Tech. He got to Tennessee. He had a really, really good first year and what was almost a Heisman second year. So, no, not entirely. I think that there is room for growth.
By the way, Jaden Daniels is the MVP of the football team. They're 6-6 without him.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you're talking about an upset wide receiver room in 2022, how much happier are they going to be in 23?
He's got to throw the football. When he throws the football, he's fine. We've been through this. If he lets it go, he's got a great chance to move the ball down the field. He has plenty of arm. I don't think he makes a lot of bad decisions when he throws it. In other words, I don't think he throws into a lot of coverages. I don't think he makes a lot of bad reads. His problem is that he holds on to the ball too long, and balls that should be away and out of his hands sometimes get stuck. That's, I think that's a correctable thing. I think you can get better at that. So we'll see on the quarterback room. Let's talk about this weekend and the visits coming in and what you're expecting as LSU goes to round out this class.
Well, I think obviously you have the commitments that are going to be there. Caleb Jackson, Lance Hurd, Dylan Carpenter from Santa Monica, who I got to see in his last regular season game, and I think he's special. The breakaway linebacker from Cy Ranch in Cypress, Texas, Tyree Adams from St. Aug. But I think the Kai Preen from St. James and Stamps from Rummel. But I think the two focus guys are Kamarian Pimpton from Fort Worth, Texas, the Vanderbilt commit tight end, and the other tight end, Jackson McGowan from Miamisburg, Ohio, that was committed to Cincinnati and decommitted, and that is trending very heavily LSU. So you see Denbrock making the rounds. He was with that kid last night up in Ohio, and everybody wants to talk about Morlock, the kid from Shorter University. They got off from LSU, and everybody's trying to get. So you can see why Cole Taylor got in the portal this morning.
Yeah, and they're down to, I believe, at this point, Mason Taylor is the only tight end on the roster as of right now. But they're going to fix that in quick order. I would say. Going to be an interesting couple of weekends before we get to National Sign Day. See how LSU fills out this class. Mike, as always, we appreciate what's coming up on TigerBait.com.
We just got a lot of recruiting coverage, player personnel coverage. We got a running thread of what's the ins and outs there, portal. And so I'm manning the message board day and night on TigerBait.com.
Mike, as always, we appreciate your time. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, Charlie, thanks.